Hi, this is Cheryl Deemer with My Stamping Classroom, and today we will be making these pretty treat bags. As you can see, they're both in craft and white, and they're actually made from the envelopes from Stampin' Up. They're pretty good size. You can either put your treats in loosely, or you can use a 4x6 gusseted bag that Stampin' Up sells. Put your treats in there and tie it with a pretty little ribbon, and they fit very nicely inside this bag. So let's get started making this. What you need is the Stampin' Up trimmer. You will also need an A2 envelope made by Stampin' Up. I recommend the white. It is thinner than the craft. You'll need some snips. You'll need a bone folder, and you'll need some strong adhesive like Fast Fuse. The first thing you're going to do is score 3 sides. So on the long side you're going to score at 1 inch. You're going to flip and score it at 1 inch. And then you'll score the bottom at 1 inch. And then on the other side, you're going to trim off 1 inch. You're actually going to cut that off. Okay. So now the next step is to seal the flap on the envelope. And you'll need to do this with some strong adhesive. And the reason you need to seal it rather than just lick it is that the adhesive does not go all the way to the edge, see? So use some strong adhesive and go all the way down to that edge and stay on the adhesive. If you go any further than that, the bag won't open up correctly. So that is nice and sealed. And the next thing you're going to want to do is to fold on all the score lines, and you want to fold back and forth. And this helps break down the fibers a little bit on the envelope so that it's easier to form the bag and the bottom of the bag. Once you fold on all the score lines back and forth, you're going to want to go and do exactly the same thing, but use a bone folder this time so that you get nice, crisp lines. And fold on the bottom, and flip it, and fold and burnish again. Okay. This is the back of the envelope, and this is the front. The back of the envelope is where the flap is. So now we're going to decorate. And to decorate, I used the Sealed with Love stamp set. I used those pretty little hearts, and I also used the words, I love you. So let's get out the stamp, and I used real red ink. Get that out. And we are going to start stamping. You can start in the middle of the envelope. Just remember that the very front of the envelope is between those two score lines. But we're going to stamp all the way around the bagalope. And if the hearts overlap, that's okay. You can also just start at the end and work your way across. It all seems to work out. Okay, now we're going to stamp the bottom of the bag, but it's above the score line. Below the score line is the true bottom of the bag. It's underneath. So we're going to stamp that. And if you get ink on your block, wipe it off, because otherwise you may be getting red ink or ink all over your project where you don't want it. Okay. Now I'm going to stamp I love you in red. And remember, it's between the two score lines at the bottom. And that's all the stamping for this. So now we are going to actually form the bag. What you do is you put your hand inside the envelope and expand it, and then gently tap it while you're holding it on the inside. And the goal is to push it down to that score line and flatten it out. And you just have to kind of work it slowly, and what you'll eventually end up with is a triangle on either end. And where it's thicker, where the envelope sides meet, it's a little thicker and it's a little harder to get down. But just keep working it. And once you get your triangles, then you want to burnish those and crease them with your bone folder so you get a nice crisp edge. Then you want to bring in the silicone mat, and using a good strong adhesive, you could use fast fuse or you could use glue dots. You want to put some glue at the bottom of those on the inside, and then lay them flat. Just fold them flat. So now you've got a flat bottom bag. Pinch in the sides, and there you have your bag. So now we're going to decorate the front of it. As you can see, I have cut out some pieces prior to this video, and it's kind of fun trying to figure out how you want to decorate this. So I've decided I've got my 3 pieces. I'm going to use a sparkly heart and that braided part. So all you need to do is put some snail on that and adhere it. Then I'm going to take this heart, which is actually cut out from the designer series paper, using the nested hearts. And put that on with some snail, and then the red glimmer heart I'm going to put on with a dimensional. Make sure your dimensional doesn't show. As you see there, I have to kind of push mine back in. And there, it is decorated. So now the next step is to make the handle. You will need a piece of whisper white paper, 3/4 inch by 8 inches. And we again are going to stamp those hearts that I stamped around the edge of the bag. Start in the middle and work your way to the end. Stamp one side and then stamp the other. Okay, once that is done, then all that's left is putting adhesive is to fold the kind of burnish the handle so that it curves. And then the last thing you do is just add adhesive to either end, and then attach it to the bag. The bag is now complete, ready for your treats. Fun and easy. Thank you for stopping by today. If you have any questions, please let me know.